Welcome back students. Today's topic is elements and compounds from class 6 chemistry second chapter. Before starting the chapter, I want to tell you about the matter. Already you have learned from the earlier classes that all substances are made up of matters. So these matter can be classified into two groups, pure and impure substances. Now we are discussing about the pure substances which are consisting of the particles of only one kind. Now these pure substances are further classified into elements and compounds. Now let us see what are the elements. There are different types of elements. Each type of element has special properties and it's different from all other types of elements. So an element may exist independently or it may combine with other elements to make the millions of types of substances we see around us. There are approximately 118 known elements today. Out of these, 92 elements occur naturally and the remaining are made by human beings. So, on the basis of their properties, elements are further classified into four types. They are metals, non-metals, metalloids and noble or inert gases. Now, we are going to see what are metals. Metals are normally having characteristics of shining. They are usually hard solids and good conductors of heat and electricity, also having the high melting and boiling points. Examples of metals like gold, silver, iron, aluminium, coppers. For the non-metals, they are either of soft solids or maybe gases. They do not possess shine. Also, non-metals are bad conductors of heat and electricity. They have low melting and boiling points also. Next is metalloids. What are metalloids? Some elements have intermediate properties, that is few properties belongs to metal and few for the non-metal. That between those they are called metalloids or semi-metals. That is silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony. These are falls under the category of metalloids. And further is noble or inert gases. These gases or elements are of do not react chemically with other elements. They are also available in the air surrounding us. Examples is there helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. 6 inert gases are present in air. So now these elements are always represented with symbols through which one or two letter by using we can express the name of the element and the atom of the element. So we can say that the symbol of an element is a single letter or two letter abbreviation or short form of its full name. Nowadays, the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry approves the names and symbols of few elements. So why the symbols are using? Firstly, the symbols of most elements corresponding to the first one or two letters of their English names. And secondly, if more than one element has the same first letter, their symbols consisting with two letters. The first letter followed by another letter which is not common for them, for the two. Suppose calcium and chlorine both are started with C, but we have to differentiate between calcium and chlorine. So by using the second letter A for calcium Ca and L for chlorine Cl. So we can classify two different elements by using two letter also. Thirdly, the symbols of some elements are derived from their Latin names also. Now few names and symbols of the first 20 elements we can see from the picture, like hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, etc. Also you can find from the book itself. Finally, we can say that the symbol of an element represents the name of the element and one atom of the element. For example, the symbol of C stands for the element carbon and one atom of that element carbon. So, students, already regarding the elements, everything is almost I covered now, and we will go for the next portion of this chapter, that is compound. We'll follow my next video.